Good afternoon. This is Melissa with the StockSwoosh.com and today's play of the day and play of the week and play of the day. I mean, this was such a good call. This has been such a good month. Such a good month. Fabulous month. And I saw this gap last night. I said it's perfect. In fact, in my trading room yesterday morning, I always go over the stocks that have earnings out before the next morning, before I close my room, between 11:30 and 12, I go over them. And I said, you know what? I saw this thing when I was looking at it. And I always make a list of ones. If this does this, I'm going to really like it. If this does this, I'm really going to love it. I said, you know what? If MM gaps down, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I said, this is the best one if it does it. Of course, I have no idea where it's going to gap. I don't know where it's going to open until it starts to report. And then I saw it last night. And I said, woo, this is perfect. And I woke up this morning and said, it's perfect, it's perfect. This is what I'm doing. We're not doing anything else. So I was all over this thing this morning. Really loved it. A perfect, beautiful, fabulous gap. So let's just go over it. Watched it this morning. Okay, rated it. It rated 24 points of my 26-point rating system. So I know that I like something because I've been doing this for 4 years. But the rating system I have, which I teach in my Golden Gap class, confirms to me, always confirms the strength of the gap, if it's good enough to play or not, which it has to be 20 points or more. This rated 24 points. Therefore, I said to everyone in the room today, I'm going to be aggressive on this. This is it. This calls for aggressiveness. That's another reason why my rating system is so great. And actually another reason to take the class and to learn it yourself is because it will help you decide how much you really want to risk on the day when you get these things. Not all trades, not all gaps, not all plays are created equal. They're just not. There's a time and a place to take certain risk. On a trade like this, on a perfect gap with a perfect setup, you risk more. Okay, you just do. And if you do, you get paid. Now, when this was doing this, I said, you know what? Nobody's really shorting this. You know, pre-market sold off here in the earnings and people are in it. I said, oh, you know, what's the perfect way I want this to set up in the open? I said a pop and go or a swoosh and go, or someone said I want to see weakness in the first 5 to 15 minutes of the day, preferably the first 5 minutes of the day. As I'm saying this, look what happened right into the open. I said, I saw it. I said, this is going to break $10 now before the open. Then I had to quick change my numbers. However, I still liked it, even though it dropped like this. To be honest, looking at the one, let's just go look at the one. It actually did a swoosh right before the open. That's what it did. Let's look at it. So this swooshed before the open. Now I'm watching this. I'm not in it. I'm not playing it, but here it is. It was basing out here and dropped $1 into 9.29. Okay, that's a swoosh right there, right before the open. Even though the technical definition, the real definition of a swoosh is not that, but that is what it did in that time frame. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then it opened. Here it is. I was in this at 9.73. Stop. I had the stop at 9.95. I said, no, I'm going to put it at $10. $10, I'm in it. I said, it's not doing anything wrong. It's weak. It's weak. This is so weak. This is so weak. It did this thing right here. Did it tail? You take more. Why? 9.73 was the trigger, was the entry. And look, it was the exact same price. It was the exact same price here then to do the ad. Plus, it didn't go over $10. This was the call in here. Actually, I was in it here, okay? But this was the call here, and then I was out. I was out right in there. Here to here. Almost $1 in 5 minutes. This was huge. This was a beautiful play. I said, you know what? I was even thinking about taking more in here when it rallied back. It was still so weak. I still liked it. It broke $9. I said, maybe I want to take this if it goes up in the mid-20s. Didn't even get up back there, but I had a millisecond to press the button. And you could have pressed it right here for a quick drop down right in here, and you wanted to get right back at it. I wanted to short it in the 20s, and it barely, by the time it touched it, I could have grabbed it right there, and I wasn't quick enough to just get another chunk. So then I waited, and as it turned out, this thing ended up playing out in the afternoon as well. Let's quick go look at it. Let me just see here. Now, the gap down was big. That's fine. It still was a beautiful gap. The drop in the morning was big, which was incredible. Look at that, $1.20 in the first 15 minutes of the day. So beautiful. Beautiful gap. And then it rallied up. I tend to not like these to rally more than a certain area, but the fact is it reset itself up that it was going to go back down lower here. Triggered then here in the 15-minute. You should be tight with a stop because it shouldn't go over this area. It is a resistance, and you want to make sure it's going to continue back down to the low of the day. The minutes are coming out like in 7 minutes here now, the FOMC minutes. So I don't know if this is going to break the low of the day or not. Otherwise, this probably would, but the market won't trade normal now for the rest of the day. So if you took this trade, you really got to be out into this move down in here. All right, just to chunk some left. This was an incredible gap. It was perfect, and my call was perfect too. My call was perfect. I could not have made a better call on that today than I made. You can't get in the stock when it opens unless it does something to tell you to do that. I got in the trigger. The ad was perfect too. This is just, the move was perfect. The day is done. This is my day. My day is done right in here in 7 minutes. Where else can you find a job like this? It's just incredible. This is an incredible way to make a living. You must learn how to find these gaps though. And in particular, you've got to learn how to trade them. I'm not gonna, say that you can do this like at the drop of a hat. You've got to learn how to do it properly. You have to learn how to rate the gaps. It's very, very important. You can't trade aggressively like this in every single stock that trades in the planet. It has to be on a gap. It has to be on a highly rated gap. This gap rated 24 points. We've been seeing a lot of these great good gaps lately. It's earnings season and we're in the thick of it now. There's tons of good stuff to do all the time. And you can be aggressive when you get a gap that rates high, and that's the time to take the size, and then you get the ad. It gives you the extra confirmation and conviction to do the size as well. And you've got to get it at the best price possible because it matters as far as your profitability level and the amount of the risk. And that's what's really, 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 really important there. It makes the world a difference in how much money you're making in the trade, where you're getting in. If you get it at the right price, you make money even if the stock doesn't go to the target. The target actually was $9 and it dropped below it, which was really nice. Now, I'll show you where I came up with that. Here, I said it this morning, the target was $9, but it actually cracked under it. This is lower though. This is lower now today because it cracked under it. I don't know if it's going to do it again tomorrow though. Probably tomorrow it might have a little red day and then do a tail and be done and rest for a little bit because it's had such a big move today. But this chart overall is lower now, and the gap today was great. And this is the reason I love trading. This is a reason to take my golden gap class and learn these 26 points because of gaps like this. Because of gaps like this where you could just nail it, hit it, make that kind of money, take a certain amount of risk, and be done like in less than 10 minutes of the day and get on with your day. Just get on with your day. Do whatever you want to do. It's just a really nice way to trade when you have a specific strategy that you're good at, and the entries too. I think that's the only way to make a good amount of money trading. I really think people just get whipped around doing tons of different stuff and never can take the size and the entries that I am capable of doing because they don't have this down to a level of precision and detail like I do. And I just want to teach people that you've got nothing to lose by learning how to do this and everything to gain. And the reality is that what's the worst thing that can happen to you if you take a trade like this or an entry like that, if you use a hard stop? The worst thing that could happen to you in this trade in the morning was you lose 25 cents. 25 cents. Now, you need to know how to do it, but this is the worst thing that can happen to you is you lose 25 cents. And the best thing that happens to you is you make $1 in 7 minutes. So you have to learn how to do it. You have to learn how to do it. There's so much reward in learning how to trade properly. There's so much reward in learning how to do it correctly. There's so much reward in taking my class. And, I named it the Golden Gap for a lot of different reasons. But the thing is, it is like gold. It is like gold because these things just provide these kind of entries like this where you can just nail it. Just hammer this thing and make this kind of money this quickly. That to me is like finding gold, to see something before it even opens. Say it's perfect that you can go after it like this and make this kind of money and be done this quickly. We were talking about in the room today, doctors, surgeons, attorneys, real people in fields that take years and years of schooling and studying, 10, 12 years to become a surgeon. And then they come out and they've got all kinds of bills from their schooling from medical school. Then they have to be an intern. They've got so long to go. You know, trading may take you time to learn it, but nowhere near like the time it takes you to become a professional in other fields. And the risk to reward and the payout in this is just so great if you learn how to do it right. The problem is that many people don't want to learn how to do it right and or don't know where to go. And I'm trying to teach people that. So if you're interested in learning how to find these gaps and rate them, to know that this thing was perfect, to know that this thing was 24 points, to take that entry that I called today in my live trading room, please contact me. The next class is going to be March 9th and 10th. And if you're interested in the trading room, contact me too. My information is Melissa at thestockswoosh.com. This was MM. This was the play of the day, play of the week, call of the week. Got 2 more days left in the week, so who knows? This has been a phenomenal month for just gaps, for everything. Just these beautiful entries, these high quality gaps. They're just fantastic. So really, if you're interested in learning how to trade them, contact me at Melissa at thestockswoosh.com. And have a good day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.